Boston hasn't lost a game on the road yet this postseason. What specifically can you do at home to make things a little bit more difficult for them? Is there anything specific at home that you guys can do?
Score more points.
Do you know that in Game 1 of the 2024 NBA Finals, Luka Doncic was held to just 1 assist? That's his lowest in a full game since his rookie season. How did the Celtics pull off this defensive masterclass? Stick around as we break down the strategies, standout performances, and game-changing moments. Alright, let's start with the big picture. The Celtics came out swinging and completely shut down the Mavericks' high-power defense. We're talking about holding them to a 97 offensive rating. But the real question is, how did the Celtics manage to neutralize Dallas's usually lethal pick-and-roll game with Luka Doncic? The key to Boston's defensive game plan was a bit unconventional. They decided to put their star player Jason Tatum on Dallas's center. By putting Tatum in the center, Boston forced Dallas to use Derrick Jones Jr. to set screens for Luka in the pick-and-roll. Now, Jones is a solid player, but he's not exactly known for being a major lob threat. This meant that when Boston switched on these plays, they could contest Luka's shots without worrying too much about the roll man getting an easy bucket. Let's compare this with what we saw in the Western Conference Finals. Against the Timberwolves, Luka and his big men were playing 2-on-2 in the paint, with those centers being huge vertical threats for lobs. Luka got Tatum on his hip after a switch, but Jones was rolling to the basket. The paint was crowded because Dallas' center was stuck on the block, bringing an extra defender into the mix. Plus, Jones just wasn't the same lob threat as some of Dallas' other bigs. The Celtics used this strategy when they played Dallas back in March. They had a forward guard, the Mavs center, and their center guard a forward. This isn't just clever, it's downright snaky. The Celtics essentially laid a trap months in advance, and the Mavs walked straight into it. But what about when the Mavs' big men set screens? Well, Boston had an answer for that too. They'd switch with someone like Jason Tatum. Now, Tatum isn't just a scoring machine, he's also a solid defender. He's good enough to hold his own against Luka in isolation, and this strategy prevented the roll man from getting free runs to the basket. The Celtics didn't want to help too much on Luka. They were okay with him scoring, but they wanted to keep his playmaking in check. This strategy paid off big time. Luka finished the game with just 1 assist. That's the lowest number he has had in a full game since his rookie season. But let's be clear, this wasn't about disrespecting Luka's scoring ability. The Celtics know he's capable of dropping 40 or 50 points on any given night, but they made a calculated decision that they would rather have Luka trying to beat them by himself than getting the whole team involved. It's a risky strategy, but in Game 1, it worked to perfection. Let's give credit where credit's due. The Celtics defenders did an amazing job. Guys like Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard, who you might expect Luka to pick on, more than held their own. They were poking at the ball, forcing turnovers, and making life difficult for Luka all night long. We can't forget about Al Horford. Despite being one of the older guys on the court, Big Al showed he's still agile enough to switch onto Luka and contest his shots. His ability to defend in space is crucial to Boston's switching scheme. He's not the quickest guy on the court anymore, but his positioning and timing are impeccable. There was only one play where he switched onto Luka on the perimeter, and you could almost see the wheels turning in Luka's head. In the end, Luka settled for a tough step back that Horford contested perfectly. Now let's talk about Kristaps Porzingis for a second. This guy had a monster game, especially on the defensive end. In the first quarter alone, he blocked 3 shots. But it wasn't just his defense that made a difference. His ability to space the floor on offense opened up lanes for his teammates to attack. Speaking of spacing, the Celtics' overall spacing might be the best we've ever seen. They do crafty stuff like putting a guard on the baseline while a big man spaces out to the perimeter. This leaves less shot blocking near the hoop, creating more opportunities for easy buckets. The Mavericks face an uphill battle after Game 1, with the Celtics looking nearly unstoppable. Jason Kidd needs to go back to the drawing board to counter Boston's effective strategy. Some options include getting players like Kyrie Irving and Tim Hardaway Jr. more involved early on, potentially forcing the Celtics to adjust their defensive approach. Another possibility is employing smaller lineups with shooters at all positions to create more driving lanes, though this comes with defensive risks. While these adjustments are challenging, they may become necessary given the outcome of Game 1. The Celtics are in a strong position, but as we've seen countless times, the NBA Finals can be unpredictable. We should also give a special shout out to Jaylen Brown. Not only did he contribute on offense, but he also held his own defensively against Luka. Performances like these remind us why the Celtics are such a formidable team. Brown's ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor is crucial for Boston. In one sequence, he locked up on Luka on defense, forced a tough shot, then ran the floor and finished with a thunderous dunk on the other end. These kinds of two-way plays can completely swing a game's momentum. While the Celtics made a strong statement in Game 1, we've seen plenty of teams bounce back from tough losses in the finals. The Mavs have the talent and the coaching to make adjustments, and it's going to be fascinating to see how they respond. Remember, in a playoff series, each game is a puzzle to solve. The Celtics won the first round convincingly, but now it's the Mavs' turn to counterpunch. The Celtics' challenge will be maintaining their defensive intensity while also staying unpredictable. Teams often say it's harder to win when you're expected to win, so it'll be interesting to see how Boston handles the pressure of being in the driver's seat. The ability to make adjustments is crucial in the playoffs, and especially in the finals. Both coaches, Ime Udoka for the Celtics and Jason Kidd for the Mavs, have shown throughout their careers that they're capable of making smart in-series adjustments. One thing to watch for is how both coaches manage their rotations as the series progresses. In Game 1, we saw the Celtics' depth really shine through. Guys like Derek White and Grant Williams made significant contributions off the bench, and for the Mavs to even the series, they might need to find some unexpected heroes of their own. Now, in any playoff series, there are always X factors that can swing the balance. For the Celtics, one player to watch is Robert Williams III. While he didn't have a huge statistical impact in Game 1, his mere presence on the court changes how teams attack the rim. If he can stay healthy and provide rim protection and lob threats and offense, it adds another dimension to Boston's already versatile lineup. For the Mavs, keep an eye on Josh Green. The young wing player has shown flashes of potential throughout the season, and his combination of athleticism and improving three-point shot could be crucial in breaking down Boston's defense. If he can provide solid minutes and hit open shots, it could open up more opportunities for Luka and the rest of the offense. One area where the Mavs will need to improve is their three-point shooting. In Game 1, they shot just 32.4% from beyond the arc, well below their season average. In today's NBA, and especially against a team as offensively potent as the Celtics, it's tough to win shooting that poorly from three. Look for Dallas to try and generate more open looks from three in Game 2. This might involve more dive and kick action or perhaps some creative off-ball screening to free up their shooters. Players like Hardaway Jr., Kleber, and even Kyrie Irving will need to knock down these shots when they get them. Boston's three-point shooting was a key factor in their Game 1 victory. They shot a blistering 48.6% from deep with multiple players contributing. If they can maintain anywhere close to that level of accuracy, it's going to be very tough for Dallas to keep up. A lot of this series will come down to the performance of superstars. For Boston, that means Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. For Dallas, it's all about Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And as we wrap up our analysis, it's clear that we are in for an exciting series. Game 1 showed us the Celtics' defensive prowess and offensive firepower, but it also gave us glimpses of what made the Mavs so dangerous. So what do you think? Can the Mavs bounce back in Game 2? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe.